Screens. All right. Okay. Good morning, Facebook. It's 10 o'clock in the UK. It's Thursday and it's Blabbing for Britain, episode 207. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen.
Now, do know that Peter is somewhere about, although he keeps appearing and disappearing. We're not quite sure why. But we'll run with it. And as it's the last show this year, we're going to go through what happened during the year and what we're looking forward to in 2020. And one of the things I'm looking forward to is getting rid of this darn flu. I actually woke up without being woken up this morning, which is a great step forward. So hopefully on the mend in time for Christmas. Okay, so waiting for Pete to come back. Just to shout out, John and I were back at 4 o'clock today with Inspired by Him video. And if I put my microphone there, you'll be able to hear me more clearly. Right, okay. John, since we last spoke, we've had the election results.
It was kind of a foregone conclusion, really, wasn't it?
Well,
it kind of beat my 17 or 18 seats margin by just a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they're
like 3 times, that is, not 3 seats.
Majority of 80, correct?
I haven't paid that much attention.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, the majority, Conservatives 365 seats, Labour 203, SNP 48, Liberal Democrats 11, DUP 8, and other 15, making up the 650 seats in total. You need 326 seats to have a majority. Conservatives have got 365, so they've got a majority of 39, but given that other parties vote with them, they've got an effective majority of zillions. Well, they've got enough to... we're speaking about the election. Who else should we have with us but Mr. Stephen Silk? Morning, Stephen.
Morning, how are we?
And Mr. Peter Stewart. We're battling through, I think it's fair to say. Right, okay. The gang's all here. And we are live and we have somebody watching us. So if you are watching us, say hello. Right, we're talking about what happened last Thursday. What are your thoughts?
I'll let Stephen Silk say.
I think you go first, Peter. You go first.
The politicians got what they asked for. And I mean those that went against the will of 17.4 million people. Never underestimate the power of the people. Who would have ever thought that Boris Johnson and the Conservatives would get voted in Labour traditional areas?
Like Stoke and Burnley.
Like Blue Stoke.
The world is changing, folks. And Dominic Cumming has done a great job behind the scenes, whether you like him or not. Get Brexit done. That was the thing that won it. Get Brexit done. And all those Labourites that, they've got a big problem in the future. I can see them splitting. I can maybe see 2 parties emerging from Labour, because us left and us centre and a wee bit to the right. So
well, it's the end of Mr. Corbyn, isn't it?
Well, yes, I was just saying, what date will he be leaving in January?
Should be gone in December.
That's not going to happen because it's not practical to organise the voting.
Don't have to. You can put in a temporary leader.
Temporary leader. He was undoubtedly the reason a lot of people voted Conservative.
Yeah, totally agree. It was a perfect storm of the most awful leadership that the Labour Party ever had.
Stephen and I's party had a leadership problem too.
Sure did.
Because 159 people decided they didn't want her because of what you kept on going about. I'll be Prime Minister. What cloud cuckoo land was she on?
I don't know where the strategy came from. I mean, it was just ludicrous. And she was going to have to recant on everything that she said at the beginning of the election.
She was a sort of archetypal Remain, wasn't she? And that Remain lost. Absolutely Remain lost.
Don't be so quick to say that. Because Remain won.
But we're able to change
Now, if you look at the parties and tally the votes up, then Remain won, and the Lib Dems should have 75 MPs.
If that's assuming that the Labour position was to remain, but it wasn't. It was, quote, neutral. Just have a second referendum was all they said.
And how fair is our voting system when a party gets 11 seats, and 4 times the number of the votes, the party gets 45 seats?
Agreed. Totally unfair. But it's not going to change in my lifetime.
So we're all stunned, basically.
Yeah. Well,
stunned.
Yeah.
And
completely and utterly
Claire,
yes.
And Claire is saying the first past the post system won, which is true. And of course, we're not going to see any change in that because it favours the Conservatives and the Labour Party. So there's no chance in that ever being changed. Who said it was about being fair? It's not. So Peter was saying that it was because get Brexit done.
Quite right.
Yeah. Are we of the same mind?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliantly run campaign. And there's no way getting around it. It was a brilliantly run campaign. Right. The fact we don't like the fact that he dodged the interviews, that he heading fridges, he's an inveterate liar, he's racist, and all that didn't matter because 3 little words. And I can see no way in which the Labour Party are going to come back with a winning response, because I just can't.
No, they're going to be out in the wilderness for a while, aren't they?
Well, let me tell you, it just wasn't about Brexit. It was also about Jerry B. Corbyn and the friends he has, like the IRA.
But we already discussed that, though, when you weren't here.
Yeah,
we all agree.
I just want to go north of the border, Peter.
Yeah.
And you said earlier you've got to respect the votes of the people.
Yes.
And can we talk about the SNP?
Yeah. The majority of people, if it came to a second referendum, would win again to not leave the United Kingdom.
But
they're the loud shouters. Yeah, we need it now. And we'll just sit there like snipers, and when the day comes, snipe, bang. Because if you had all the Liberals, if you all the
that's what we were saying. That I think we've lost Peter again. Stephen's moving, so I know Stephen's there. John's moving, so I know John's there.
Do not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You just froze.
Okay, so most of the people I talk to do not want a second referendum.
That's because it's most of the people you talk to.
That's right.
If I looked at my Facebook profile in the last 7 days since the election, there is nobody or a very small percentage clapping their hands and saying, yippee, we've won. Most of the things that I see on Facebook are saying, what the hell happened? And that's because of the circle we're moving. We don't know what's going on outside that.
We're all in echo chambers. And that's the problem. We've got our own way of thinking, and the Facebook pages we go on, and whatever we listen to, that's what we'll listen to. That I don't think there's any newspaper or anything like that is just truly independent anymore.
Completely
I think
agree.
we all agree.
Now, I
John,
suggest you
please.
look up Anna Breeze, an ex-BBC journalist, ITV journalist, and see what she's doing. It's going to be citizen journalism in the future. Do you know, I told my friend, I says, have you seen the Julie Jones? He goes, what's that about? What's that? And I then directly, he says, oh, I didn't know that was going on. No, there's lots of things hidden from us, you know? And no, and I can guarantee you, if we could impeach a prime minister here, they would be speaking about it now. Let's impeach the prime minister.
Boris Johnson at the moment is untouchable, but in
Absolutely.
several senses of the word. I mean, we've now got the situation where fake news is believed, right? He who says it first is telling the truth.
Yeah.
So when the Conservatives said we're going to build 40 new hospitals, that's the headline. That's the one that everybody remembers. And the recant later that the truth is that there are only 6 hospitals going to be built or refurbished doesn't matter.
And what was there, and
we've heard
was
the
there,
40.
And was there any fake news from the Liberals or on Labour?
Don't go into battle, Peter. We're just
no,
trying.
What's that?
There's no point. Let him.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not just. I pulled up as an example. It's basically okay. Let's go with. Let's cross the channel. Cross the pond, and go to America and President Trump's impeachment. And the thing about that is that it's counterproductive, because as soon as you say to Republican voters they're going to impeach our president, they just don't believe it. They don't believe he's done anything wrong. That's our president. He's been attacked by the state. It's not on. We're not having that. He's coming back for another 4 years.
He's going to do really well.
He's not, because you're talking about the Republican voters. Fine, you're never going to change their mind, right? But have a look at in Texas, where Trump is just about ahead of every one of the potential Democrat contenders.
Mm-hmm.
That is a stunning situation for the Democrats to be in, because for the last 200 years, it's been so red, so Republican, with sort of 30%, 20% margins, that there's no way on God's earth the Democrats are going to get in. But now, because of Trump, they're that far away from capturing. The Democrats are that far away from capturing Texas. And you look across the whole of the country, and the margins, the unpopularity of Trump is going to do for the Republicans. Absolutely. So the current Republicans aren't going to be turned around by impeachment, but that doesn't really matter, because that's Trump's base. Everybody else is just getting
Look,
ready.
if I was a Democrat just now, I'd be embarrassed at their antics. I really would.
I completely and utterly disagree with you, Pete, on that.
Well, you can. 3 times they've tried now. 3 times they've been trying it on. And Nancy Pelosi should be looking after her own bloody state and in her house. All she's got in her mind when she wakes up in the morning.
You don't get it. You just don't get it. It's really not a question of party over there. It's a question of a criminal president who's been investigated by the House of Representatives. I've said this to you before.
Not Democrats.
He's been investigated by the part, an equal part of government, and they've decided to send articles of impeachment. He's been impeached. He's that corrupt.
Do you think that things never went on in the past with other presidents? It's just in this day and age we can find out more. Most of them are corrupt in some way.
The hypocrisy from the Republicans who happily impeached Bill Clinton, There must be 200 different statements from the Republicans, which they've turned. Hypocrisy is incredible. Because
Bill Clinton, one of his own said, "Come in here, little lady, and I'll make sure you go up in this world."
You fake news from you, Pete. Sorry, mate.
Fake news.
Well, just a minute. Let's
Should we change topic?
just the voice of reason, Claire Evans. More whataboutery. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're stuffed at the moment. We've just got to make a fist of it and do the best that we can.
No, we're not stuffed. We're going to be a great country and we're going to move on.
Oh, Christ.
Peter,
you're in Scotland. You're going to be a separate country.
Yeah.
No,
Come back in a year.
No,
Peter.
we won't.
Come back in a year.
you see, you don't understand it. You think because you see Nicola Stubbs, I speak for Scotland. Let me tell you something.
No, Peter, we looked at the votes.
She doesn't speak for Scotland.
And 45 out of 59 constituencies in Scotland voted for the SNP, and the SNP said devolution. Now, that's probably about 70% of your country want to be separate, voted to be separate. That's a fact. It's irrefutable.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. You got to remember that a third of the SNP party don't want to go into Euro either. The EU. A third of them.
That's conjecture. Fact is that people voted for the SNP. Right. Okay. Let's change the topic totally. And something that I mentioned last week, which this is quite amazing. This is people power at its best. Sorry for that, Stephen. I just want to talk about Samsung and the BBC iPlayer. We take it for granted that people who produce software will actually make sure that it works with other things before releasing it so that we get to use it. And last week, Samsung the BBC iPlayer did an update. They didn't check with Samsung. And as a result, tens of thousands of Samsung television sets could no longer use the BBC iPlayer. And that's if your set was 3 or 4 years old. Now, 4 years for a television is old nowadays. And our set's 4 years old, and our iPlayer stopped working. And we thought, what have we done? And so did tens of thousands of other people. And they turned around and they said, right, okay, we know there's a problem, but what we're going to do is forget it's Christmas. We'll have it fixed for you in January 2020. How's that? Yeah. So
that sounds like a Ratner approach to customer management. So
no BBC iPlayer until January 2020 for anybody who's got an older Samsung television.
Wow.
Mine is 3 years old, so I suspect mine will probably be the same.
Yeah. So
mine is
on it anyway.
8 years old.
Right. Yeah.
Still got, it's a Tesco one.
Well, see, you need BBC iPlayer to watch Dragon's Den replays and to watch The Apprentice replays and important stuff like that.
No, they're doing you a favour there, Steve.
Right, okay, but People Power won through, and I can announce, certainly in Wiltshire anyway, there was a software update yesterday, and the iPlayer is now working in time for Christmas. Oh, there you are. A story with a happy ending, a Christmas story.
I've got something to tell you.
Okay.
Do you ever wear a hat?
I wear a beanie has.
I've got a beanie as well.
Yeah.
There's English rugby on it.
Stephen?
Yes, I've got one in the hall over there.
And I have a 4-piece sun hat for the summer.
What type of hat you want, Stephen?
Sun on my back.
Well, I can tell you, I've started wearing hats. I'm going to wait to get fairly expensive ones as well. I have never seen such a conversation opener in all my life. Complete strangers coming up and speaking to me, especially women. Sheila, don't listen now. And and wearing a hat, and you know something, I'm not a tall guy, but I wore it when I was singing and everything, and it actually makes you feel better. And the amount of compliments I've had is unbelievable. So I'm going to be buying more expensive hats to wear, and I'm going to stand out from the crowd. What are your thoughts?
Some trilbies in Aldi this week.
Feeling good.
It's not going to be cheap ones, so I'm going to be going the right trilbies and the night right ones. But it is, I walked in, I've got to tell you, I walked into the pub with it last week, and somebody came up at and said, "What are you wearing that hat for?" I says, "You watch your women come to me shortly." And I've got to tell you, loads of women come around. I looked over at them and I went, "Okay."
Is it the smell from the hat that's their guide dogs?
It simulates my gorgeous, beautiful eyes showing because of it. And there you are. Get a hat to get ahead.
You only wear it because 90% of the heat from your head goes out.
It does keep you warm as well, and I'm looking up and I'm going to buy the right hats, and it actually makes me feel better and more confident. And I walk amongst. I had one guy who's never spoken to me in his life, and he says, "What are you doing with your hat?" Like, I never spoke in the pub at all. Like, what are you wearing that for? And I says, "Just watching."
Isn't it dangerous to live in Aberdeen these days?
I think it's dangerous to live just about anywhere in Aberdeen.
That young lady last week got hit on the head by a flipping settee.
Threw out the window, didn't
No,
they?
she's seriously hurt.
I've seen it, yeah.
Because I noticed she's been moved to Woodend Hospital, which
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with, because some bloke I know wears a yellow jacket and peeks in through the windows.
Yeah, and basically, Aberdeen's a nice city during the day, but at 3 in the morning, it can be quite violent. You know, just people drunk.
She went out on the back step of work to phone her boyfriend, and somebody in the building opposite, 2 blokes, threw a settee out the window, and it landed on her head. Broke her legs, her ribs, her arms, everything.
You just broke up here. Did I break up?
No, you intermittent, Peter, but we voice is perfect.
Okay.
Your picture.
I can still, when I go off, more 99% of the time I hear you, so I'll just do something to come back in.
Are you okay?
So yeah.
Ah, dear.
Now the boys come out to see me this morning and they said, "Oh, you're up and wearing that tie as well makes you." They just said, "Oh," I says, "You like him? You're getting him next year." Not really wearing tie. It's a pull-off tie, but I'm going to be more tie this year.
Yeah. Your secret's safe with us, Peter, and Claire won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to wear a tie every day to work, but not now. I think it's.
Yes, I used to wear a suit every day, and now it's a pleasure to wear a suit. It doesn't happen very often, but it's a pleasure to wear a suit.
I find it hard to know what to wear at my work now. I don't do the job as such, but I still want to be in a uniform type way. You know, so people.
Can't you have a jacket and have the boss embroidered on it instead of,
I don't like calling myself the boss, you know. I've got an inclusive business where everybody says what I do. I'll do what I say. So, Stephen, has your son got a job yet? No, he's out of the army.
He's not out yet, dude. He's not out. We've got loads of options for him. So
very good.
I've got his dog here at the moment because Paul's coming up on Friday.
Okay.
Got Major down there, gorgeous lab. But no, he's surveying the various options he's got. But I was down at Combermere Barracks the other day. And seeing the horses, because he's kind of on different sorts of duties now while he's sort of in between. But the bloody horses are gorgeous, they really are. Yeah,
they're beautiful. Well, see you looking very smart today. That's me, Mr. Smart. But I'll tell you what, the Household Cavalry Division will be very happy about. that the man that blew up the horses in Hyde Park and the men was actually convicted in a civil case. But nothing will probably happen to him. I don't
No,
think.
he's not been jailed, or there's no sentence, is there? It's purely a.
They could go after his money if he's any
Yeah.
money or anything like that.
That's
That was a horrible day.
terrible, mate.
I've just actually been reading. I've just finished a book. It's the second one about the Royal Ulster Constabulary. Short stories from it, and what brave people they were. You know, really brave people. And there's some fascinating stories and funny stories too about their life in the Royal Ulster. And what I found out, one of the early ones to get killed was a guy from Bankery, which is not far from Aberdeen, who he left, and he joined the Royal Ulster Constabulary, and unfortunately was murdered. I didn't know that until I read the book.
When we get a chance, Pete, we'll have a discussion about things we can't talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember my dad went to Ballymena about, Christ knows when, 70s maybe, and we were all sort of crapping ourselves, thinking, "Oh God, he's got to go to Belfast," and this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Terrible times. But the Welsh Guards have taken over almost all of Combermere now in Ascot, Windsor. So the Cav are sort of
Was he frozen?
now, but it's still a nice place to it's still good to be there. Just have a chance to walk around and have a chat with the guys, obviously with permission and all that.
Yeah.
At the moment, I can see all four of us, Peter, and we're all pretty good.
Okay, I mean, again, it's not been great for me this week. Don't know if it's my end.
Right, okay, where should we go next? Where would you like to go?
How Christmassy do you feel? 1 out of 10.
Sorry, Stephen?
Sorry?
How Christmassy do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
7.
2.
1. John?
Well, I can only go down to 0 on that basis, can't I?
I mean, Sheila. Sorry,
I'm looking forward to actually having some time off because there are some jobs around the house that I want to get done. But Christmas Day will be good because the whole family are coming to us and I'm cooking, so that's going to be fun.
So you'll be more Christmassy then, for sure.
That's the only Christmassy I'm feeling at the moment is going out, and I'm going to have to get me turkey this morning, so because I'm not leaving it to the last minute like I did last year.
Well, Sheila usually loves Christmas. All I've seen is getting presents good for our grandchildren and that. And she goes, I don't think I'll bother put up decorations this year. I said, you better put up some. So she's put up some lights. And it's not the same when you're older, when there's no kids going about in a house and stuff like that. Just, I don't know. I'm actually depressed because I'm 60 in January. And believe it or not, I'm dreading it.
That is no reason to be depressed, Peter.
I'm dreading it because I say I might only get another 10 years.
I agree with you, Peter. I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
I'm not having no part. I'm actually depressed with it because of my health and I probably won't reach 70. It's not fair.
Pete, you'll still be going at 80 because you look after yourself better than the rest of us put together.
That's the problem. That drink, that smoking, they'll just drop them dead one day and say, there you go, you should have kept on drinking.
When's your birthday, Peter?
16th of January.
Mine's 23rd.
23rd?
I'm the 21st and Peter's the 16th.
Oh, I'm the 2nd. And I should be 4 years older than the pair of you. So
and yours is on the 2nd?
2nd of January.
Oh,
And my dad was the 22nd, the day after you, but he ain't with us anymore.
So we have a birthday Blabbing for Britain. Let's do something different.
What, can we all wear funny hats?
Yeah. Take Peter's cue.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm making a Frank Sinatra tribute type site just now. I've been recording music, and I'm very happy with it so far. Because next year I hope to get good money for singing.
I've got some new headgear.
Okay.
I can be Torchy, the battery boy. Now, how many remember Torchy?
Remember Torchy, but what is that for, John?
It's just a headlamp thing, you know.
Yeah.
Why? Sorry, I hate to be practical, but when will you use it? Oh no, I didn't realise that picture was gonna. Hello, Stephen. Oh dear.
Oh, we're all got our headgear. Tool station have opened just down the road. In the building that used to be my clients before they moved to Tamworth.
Uh-huh.
And so I popped in to see what it looked like when it opened on Monday, and they gave me one of these for free. So,
I
spent a small fortune on the building as well.
So you wear hats a lot then?
Say again.
I've got a hat like that. Only difference is it's brown and it's not quite a fancy trim.
Well, I've got a John Bon Jovi one from Vegas, which is kind of straw, but you know, it's my dad rock thing.
Okay, so it's Daft hats in January.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, although I think it's more stylish, John, than Daft.
Yeah, I'm going to get more hats. Not cheap ones, but more expensive ones.
So there's nearly a $5, I'll have you know.
Yeah. Now, what is MD?
When is the first broadcast in January? It wouldn't happen to be my birthday, any chance?
What day is it? Second?
The 2nd of January.
Yeah, the second's good. We're not here next week, of course.
Did you know that the 2nd of January is actually a public holiday in Aberdeen, which the English don't get in Scotland? Sorry, did you know that?
No, it doesn't affect us down here, so we don't know. It's most people's day back to work in the UK.
Yeah,
it is.
Not us.
Right.
Right. So, has anybody booked anything for next year yet?
Loads.
Have you? No. Well, what I'm looking at, luckily enough, there's a pest control exhibition in Berlin, and I just thought I would combine the two maps.
Yeah, Berlin.
Now, do you know how much it costs? £129 to go to Berlin, KLM from Aberdeen, and then probably get some Airbnb or something. It's ridiculous because to get down to London, it's spent about £500. Yep. £129 to go to Berlin.
And back? Or just there?
£129 there and back. You can do the same from Bristol.
And it's Aberdeen as well, KLM, London. Okay, you've got a couple of hours to wait, which is great. And then go up into Berlin, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'll have to brush up in my German quickly. But then you'll ask for some answer back in English. And they've got Uber there as well. Uber. Yeah.
There used to be a huge, absolutely bloody massive exhibition in Germany. It wasn't Berlin, it was
Hanover.
Was it Hanover?
Hanover Fair.
What was it called?
The Hanover Fair.
No, it was back in the days of Nokia when they were big, all the sort of 20 years ago, probably.
Yeah, once was the biggest exhibition in Europe, the Hanover Fair.
CeBIT.
That's computer, though, isn't it?
Oh yes, yes. Well, technology for sure.
That's a question for you. For Berlin, what will I need to go with all the carrying?
Peter, Repeat your question, please.
Right, so if I'm going to Berlin, I'm going to wait to get insurance again, medical insurance. But I just wonder if it's stipulated. We're still on for about a year, aren't we? So my passport and everything will be valid to go through to Germany. Would you think that?
I don't. Oh, I know. I don't know if it's a similar problem in that you asked what am I doing next year. Well, I'm getting married on the 22nd of February.
Oh, very good.
Up in
wow.
Patrick, Richmond, and we're going on the honeymoon to Venice. And I don't quite know what to do yet about passports to go to Italy. So I'm in the same boat as you, mate.
There's no change next year.
No, your passport is still valid.
We're still in the EU.
Yeah.
But not just on 31st of March, are we? Aren't we having a hardy old Brexit?
No, we're going to leave on the 31st of January, but we'd never leave because it's transitional arrangements and everything stays as it was.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So 2020 said. Anyway, back to the getting married on the 22nd of February in
Richmond, in Yorkshire.
Richmond, in Yorkshire. 22nd. Do you know what the 22nd of February is? It's the most amazing day of the year because that's my birthday.
It was Baden Powell's as well.
Indeed, it was.
Oh,
indeed,
wow.
Whoa!
How spooky is that? How spooky is that?
Someone new has popped up. Hello, Irene.
No, Irene. Hello, Irene. Well, welcome to the show. You've missed all the arguments. We're into the good stuff now. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 207. We've been going for over 4 years. And to introduce everybody, Irene, next to me is John, and he's in Solly in Birmingham. Underneath me is Stephen, who's in Stoke, which is in the middle of England, pretty close to John. And Peter is in Aberdeen. So we've got 4 areas of the UK covered. We come here every Thursday at 10 o'clock, set the world to rights, discuss what's gone wrong. And we're joined by our friends, by Claire. And just to introduce Irene, Irene is the maestro behind everything that happens at Be.Live TV. How's that? So Irene, welcome to the show. Irene's the boss, or my boss. Right. Okay, and again from Irene.
So when we talk about advertising revenue, then
sponsorship. Well, I've got the logo. I've had the logo there all show. You guys, have we met in person? That's the question from Irene. So,
yes, well, 2 others, 3 others.
Stephen and I have met. Stephen came down to Wiltshire. John will explain.
I missed what you said. There was a nasty crackle.
Will it be like TV?
Have we all met? Was the question. And I said, you and I have met.
Yes, we've met, but because Stephen once lived not very far from me. But I've not met any of the other 2.
Steve Silk.
Hello.
We've been meeting me in London, we chickened out.
Oh,
and then I said I was coming to Birmingham. And Mr. Birmingham said, "Oh, I'm going to be out that day." I remember that. And he wasn't.
Do you see a pattern emerging, Pete?
I'm going to take him for a curry, but he says he was out.
Well,
okay.
We'd love to see you. We'd love to see you. Oh, Christ, he's not coming down.
There's a very good chance that I might meet Peter next year.
Oh, good.
Because we're planning to go up to the northeast of Scotland.
Why?
Wow.
Why? Because we want to see some of the sites that I've been reading about from young Stewart.
Oh, right. Okay. Well done.
Okay.
And at the same time, I might even get to walk around the football field with Peter.
Brilliant. We say good morning to Kelly. And Kelly is saying, Kelly's in Sarnia, Ontario. Watch the replay. I must. Oh. Let's just say that the beginning of the show was, well,
argumentative.
Argumentative. That's a good word, John. And another message from
We had
Irene.
that bloody Scotsman telling us what to do.
Okay. Take care, Irene. Catch you later. Irene's off to a Be.Live meeting. Okay. So there we have it. 22nd of February.
In fact, Stephen,
And
this
we're still
show's
live.
been going longer than Be.Live has been going, isn't it? True?
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Be.Live's been going 3 years, 2 months. We've been going over 4 years. All right. Okay.
What do you think will be the most used phrase next year?
The most used phrase. Brexit. Why did we do it?
Because of Brexit, anything that goes wrong with now will be, and because of Brexit, guaranteed.
It's Brexit's fault.
Brexit, because of Brexit. Oh, I'll tell you what's interesting. The BBC better watch what they're doing, because somebody's targeting them just now. The license fee. What do you think of that?
Well, they're going to try and make it so that it's not a criminal offence.
Yeah.
More of a civil stroke commercial thing. And for me, yeah. I mean,
I object.
I just don't watch it. I don't watch BBC anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the only thing to watch on the BBC is
Not The Apprentice.
The Apprentice 2019.
I'm going. I just.
Yeah,
right.
loads
Okay,
of bread.
okay.
How boring.
I don't watch
Oh,
it.
dear.
I just don't
Different
watch it. It's all fake. All
It's
fake.
all fake and it's all crap.
Yeah.
It's an abomination of a programme. Nearly as bad as that bloody Dragon's Den nonsense.
They're all manipulated by the producer. I want you to say this and I want you to do that. I want you. What if we done it this way? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, Stephen. Thank you for mentioning that. Next.
I'm not going to watch the rest of MasterChef The Professionals as a protest.
Why?
BBC. They threw out the Navy chef last week, and he was far better than the young coloured gentleman they kept in.
You think of motive behind that now?
They wanted a youngster in the kitchen, and they were quite keen to have a mixed race person in the kitchen. And the lad who was the Submariner cooker, Submariner cooker, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But had more recently become the Admiral's personal chef. He was thrown out. Yet what he produced was massively better. And there has been a huge load of social media protests going on.
Probably a lefty producer. That's what I say.
Well, I felt like going and speaking to Jasper Carrott because it's produced by the company of which he's a major shareholder.
Oh, yes. He's loaded. He's loaded.
And long before he became famous, he was at a place called the Boggery, which was our local folk club, and I'd be about 18 and I'd help him set up at the Boggery, the local rugby club.
Wow.
But he also used to play football with him at the weekends.
Did he remember you?
No, he wouldn't remember me for Adam. Why would he remember me? He used to play football, and he wasn't called Jasper Carrott when he played football. Let's put it that way.
No.
You mean Jasper Carrott's not real?
My mate looks like Jasper Carrott.
No, his best joke that he ever had was that he was going to call his daughter Henrietta Carrott, but never mind.
That's quite good.
He did a lot of quiz shows.
That's a cracker joke, John. That would be good.
No, that was a real joke from the gentleman himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just back to Christmas.
His real name's Bob, by the way.
Right. I've already had one Christmas.
Yeah, you cooked on Saturday, didn't you?
I cooked the turkey and all the trimmings on Saturday. I've already done it once. That was a practice run because Angelica's son and daughter were here and they were away over Christmas. So we had a pre-Christmas Christmas day with presents under the tree, which meant the tree had to go up. The tree's up with lights on. It's been there since last Thursday and all the trimmings have been done. And I cooked what must be, well, let's just say everybody enjoyed it and some people went back for thirds, not just seconds, thirds. So that's when you know, and you go into the kitchen and everything's gone.
Yeah, portion control is everything, Stephen.
Thank you for that. But yeah, and over to Claire. And Claire's agreeing with John. She liked the Navy chef. Shemi left. Olivia Stew will win. Probably Olivia. She's excellent and consistent.
Well, she ought to be, because she works at London's most expensive hotel.
Which is?
The Savoy.
Darling, did you not know that?
No, I probably didn't. No. I've stayed at 1 or 2 hotels in London, but not Savoy. It's probably more expensive than
Savoy
like
in 1983, with a special guest who come to help the opening and launch of the Apricot PC, whose name was Gates, one William Gates.
Wow.
Before he became Bill.
You've met a lot of famous people.
I remember seeing Bill Gates at an exhibition or a conference in London during the launch of Windows XP or ME, or a long time ago, and he did the classic thing. And here we are with blah 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 blah, blah, and we just press send here. It's crashed, and the audience just wet themselves laughing. Every time you did a demo on a Windows piece of kit, it screwed up royally.
Shada.
Yeah.
Bad in the days.
One has stayed at Claridge's though.
Oh, darling. Oh, okay.
It's up there, but it's not the top. But it costs more on the return flight to Berlin. Let's put it that way, to stay there.
Right.
In 1986, I was Group Special Projects Manager at Apricot Group, and I worked directly for Roger Foster, who was the major shareholder, boss, and everything.
What happened to them, John? What happened to Apricot?
No, they got bought by the Japanese, and then the Japanese took all the clever stuff back to Japan and closed it overnight. But anyway, we went to the Savoy, and I worked for Roger, and I was pretty pally with Roger's secretary. She was a lovely older lady, and I would often fix things for her. And I went as Roger's sort of get things done man, and the rest of each of the managing directors of the board went there. Roger had a suite. I had a suite. None of the directors had a suite. They only had rooms.
Wow.
We played a guessing game. Okay. We were all in Roger's suite, and he had a dining table in the suite. And we went round one at a time each, and what we had to do was guess something we could order that the chef wouldn't normally prepare. I went for beans on toast, but apparently that was an everyday event.
Right.
Who won?
Who won? A guy called Chris Buckham won. He was the marketing director, and I haven't seen him probably for. I saw him about 10 years after I left. So that I perhaps saw him about 1996, and I came across him last week, would you believe? And these days he's retired, and he's running a sort of cooperative type shop, selling fruit and veg and stuff in his village where he lives. Keep his brain alive, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, the thing the topic that has made the headlines this week, which puts the fear of God into most of us, is dementia.
Yeah, I was listening to a program about it on Radio 4 last night, and having experienced it with both parents, I wouldn't want my kids to have to do what I did, if you know what I mean. But I can't see any way of making a fund that can do it. There was a lady on last night who could not get any help from the local council, because local council didn't have any money, and people were quoting £1,800 a week for a house, for a place in a home.
Yeah. We've got somebody going away to look at home as well. So, so if you've got youngsters, they say get your house into a trust fund and things like that, so they can't take your equity and stuff like that. There
That's
are
quite
ways
interesting
around
because
it.
my house is already in a trust fund, because at the time when I did that, it was all about tax, personal tax at the time, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether it's the right thing or not now, and I keep meaning to review it,
Yeah.
but I'll probably be too old to review it before I get around to reviewing it.
So, I mean, I'm just in the shower the night, and I was thinking about the £300,000 I lost because I'd done something wrong with property, And it wasn't a shower water that was coming down, it was the tears from my eyes thinking about that money. I just laugh it off now, to be honest with you. It's done. What's done is done.
Yeah, but I mean, house prices are just ridiculous today. I mean,
Yeah.
my one lad, he's still at home, he's 30. He just cannot afford to buy a house.
No, it's a shame. It's a shame. We all became capitalists and we all wanted to get higher houses and price-wise and things like that. And
You cannot buy a flat where I live for less than £260,000.
well, we've only got
one bed flat.
We've only got, I think, we can pay ours off next year. We're going to pay it off, and that's it. And then I've got to think what I'm going to do with the business, because I just don't want to take risks anymore. Even from a high growth business, according to the bank.
Well, I was looking at having a new car. My car is 7 years old today, 19th of the 12th. And in the end, I've put 3 new tyres on it, and it sailed through the MOT. And instead of buying a new car, I'm getting rid of the last piece of debt that I've got.
Great. Now, gentlemen, I know this is going to break your heart, but I'm going to have to leave because somebody turned up at me 10 o'clock this morning.
Right.
And I told them, he said he was going to, and it was to present me with something. Right?
Right, okay.
This is what I says. I'm sorry. I'm on my video conference that I've for nearly 3 years, and you're going to have to come back.
Nice one, Peter. Nice one. Peter, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous, and healthy New Year.
And a Happy New Year, and I look forward to our debates next year.
What could happen? What could possibly
All
go
I can
wrong?
say is, get those pests gone. That's my new phrase.
Get those pests gone. Right, okay, you heard it here first. Take care. Bye.
Cheer up, Stephen.
Oh dear. Then there were 3. That's good.
I've just put a link into the host chat.
Okay, yeah.
It's about a book by a guy called, I forget his name.
The End of Alzheimer's, the first program to prevent and reverse the
name is Dale Breedson, Bredeson. I've actually read it, and it's an amazing book because it talks about the fact that Alzheimer's is not 1 condition, but in fact 3. And there are 36 metabolic factors which can trigger downsizing in the brain. It's a fascinating read. It's one that's absolutely accessible to non-doctors, non-medics. And if you get a chance to read it, it could change your life, because it talks about lots and lots of, everybody's got a susceptibility to what he calls vectors. So if you're a gluten intolerant, if you're alcohol intolerant, we all are at some level, and it just talks about if you can identify the things that cause the brain to defend itself, creating the plaque which causes Alzheimer's, you can sort of reduce the impact of getting old, reduce the cognitive decline. So for my New Year resolution, I'm going to have another look at that book, because I promise you it's a great read.
Right. Thank you, Stephen. I'll check it out. Well, right. Okay. I can put something else up on the screen as well. Why not do that? Just give me a second. I just want to go to just your sets. This is just advance notice. All right. Be.Live TV year-end show with Owen Emsath or Owen Video and Molly Mahoney is on the 30th of December, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK. There will be a giveaway and prizes to be had. So I would suggest that this is not New Year's Eve. You couldn't ask the guys to work New Year's Eve. This is on the 30th, and there'll be prizes to be won. It's on the Be.Live page with Owen and Molly on the 30th of December. That's my advert done. Pity Irene wasn't watching that.
Be.Live t-shirts.
Could be anything. There's going to be a video which comes out next week, which is from Be.Live, which is for everybody who's involved in Be.Live, admins, moderators, and all the staff. And everybody does a 20-second greeting of, just we're not allowed to say Christmas. So we've got to say seasons. Okay, John. Seasons greetings. We don't mention the word Christmas because this is going global, and we've got to be sensitive to everybody.
Well,
so I went just a minute.
I have some friends who are Muslims, and they think we're stupid not calling it Christmas.
So do I. Right, Christmas wishes from Kelly. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays, and wish you all a prosperous new year and decade. Excellent. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, so what they wanted was the 20-second video to be memorable. Okay, and they wanted to show that we were truly a global organisation. So it just so happened that Angelica and I played hooky yesterday. We took a day off and went to Salisbury shopping. And so my 20-second video is in front of Salisbury Cathedral. Now, you can't get more iconic than that, really. I mean, that was just fate.
I want to know if you're wearing it, the outfit.
I'm wearing the hat.
The beanie.
Yeah. Live Video Hub. Yeah.
Have you seen this hat, Stephen?
It's okay.
I'm just happy that you're able to go into Salisbury because the half-life of those Russian things has probably gone down now, isn't it? It's pretty safe.
You've got to assume that you're going to be safe. I mean, the town would have been cleared if one hopes it would have been cleared. But we're quite happy to go 2 or 3 times.
And is trade getting back to what it was?
We've been there twice in the last couple of weeks, and it was quite busy both times. Yeah, I mean the cathedral, they do a special service which is journey. Is I've forgotten the title of it now, which is not good because it relies on the title. It's descriptive. It's from darkness into light is the service, and the church itself was the Abbey Cathedral was packed with 1,500 people. So it's just people are going to Salisbury. I obviously we've got long memories of what happened there. But yes, I think it will recover. Right, sorry, John, you were saying before I
have no idea what I was saying before. I was asking you if you're going to wear the bobble hat with the bag on the front.
I did.
Because I have seen it.
You did. You saw it on Monday when I'm in the hash of putting it on. But actually, well, this is the way we know. This is the way things are. Okay, I said to Angelica, I'm just going to shoot this 20-second video for Be.Live special. She said, right, okay, just let me make sure your hat is straight first. So,
oh dear me.
So the hat was on straight.
I have.
What would we do
for next year? I've had some new business cards.
Oh, just a minute. Let's go full screen.
Oh, you want to see it, really?
Here we do. Yeah. Off you go. Your business card. Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, I think.
That's the back.
All right.
It's because everybody was saying that on my present business card, I didn't look like anything like the picture. And it's
no.
And you can tell how old it has. It has a link to my academy page on the back.
Well, that's going back 14, 15 years, John.
No, they're not that old, but
10 years. Yeah. Okay. Right. It's getting towards the top of the hour. John, well, first of all, from Stoke, season's greetings, Stephen, if you would, please. Sorry.
Whoa, from us, lot. Well, look what we've got to look forward to. You know, over Christmas, we got the chance to get relegated. Sun is just popping out, and it's probably about 65 degrees today, and the palm trees are still gently breezing, and the waves are lovely. So from Stoke, wonderful Stoke, have a fab Crimbo and a great new year, and see you on the other side.
Well, from Conservative Stoke to Conservative Devices, we wish you. That's a story for the new year. But it is true. The new Conservative MP for Devices actually knows something about social media, and he has been posting every day since he became the MP, and he's been talking to the local people. So, on a personal level, he's doing a good job. From Wiltshire in England, wishing everyone a wonderful Christmas and a happy, healthy and prosperous new year. John, it's over to you.
Well, I'm afraid as I'm in the third Conservative thanks, we'll have to start singing Keep the Blue Flag Flying. So it's me in the Midlands wishing everyone a great time, whatever your bloody holiday is and whatever you really well call it. So have a great time. And it's goodbye from Wiltshire, goodbye from Stoke-on-Trent. Yes, you are going to lose this weekend. Goodbye from me in the West Midlands. Bye-bye.
That's